Hi, this is Dr. Anita McLaughlin, and thank you for joining me once again for a diamond moment. As we know, the diamonds of our life are produced through time, heat, and pressure. The way that we utilize the information that we have been fortunate enough to gather will determine where our lives can go, the potential that's available to us, and what we can do in order to achieve our goals. For the past few weeks, we've been talking about coincidence. Is there such thing as coincidence? Whether or not what we might term coincidence is actually the leading of the spirit, source, God, the creator, the universe, to getting us to where we need to be. We talked about how it feels to be led from within, not necessarily only by what you see with your eyes, but having an understanding, a knowing of this is the way for me and this is what I need to do. We talked about who do you trust? Who is it that you have connected yourselves with? And I asked the question that if water seeks its own level, are you bringing your friends up or are they pulling you down? And we've been looking at who you have positioned around you. What are your friends willing to do to support you? Is your dream safe around those that you call your friends? And what are they really about? I want you to think about what you accept from the people around you that you term as friends. What type of behavior is acceptable to you by people that you have aligned your life with? Because many times the things that they do, the situations that they put themselves in, will in retrospect include you in something that maybe you did not desire to be a part of. The people that you're around are very, very important in terms of your accomplishing the goals that you have set up for yourself. So as we're looking at whether that water is bringing us down or whether we're lifting others up, we really do need to understand our role in the friendships that we are a part of. Are you the person who's always coming to the rescue? Whether it's emotionally or financially, are you the one that's always called to help out? Is there ever a time when the people around you help you? Are they able to be self-sufficient enough to take care of themselves? But when there's something needed from them on your behalf, is it ever a time when they're able to help you? Are you always the one that's there for them? Is there ever a time when they are there for you? Are you the one in your friends, among your friends, that's always expected to pick up the slack? Well, I wanted to do it, but can you do it for me? Can you handle this for me? Are you the one that is always required to pick up the slack? To be the responsible one because someone else is being irresponsible. So that leaves you in the position to have to take up the slack. Is there any part of your relationship that's reciprocal? I give to you, you give to me. I have it sometimes, you have it sometimes. It's wonderful to think about, that you have friends that you can count on and that would be there for you. But is that really accurate? Is that true? Or is this kind of a figment of your imagination? Is the reality what you think it is or has been? And then I want to ask, how long have you known the people that are around you? And if you've known them for a long time, Do you have a sentimental connection to them? And is that connection something that actually does not exist anymore? And then, did it ever really exist at all? I know in my own life, I have friends that have been around me or that I've known for a very long time. And there are some that, while they fit in that category of long-term association, all of those people no longer fit in the terms of long-term friends. Because over the years, I've been able to determine, yes, these are people that I know and that I know of, but these are no longer people that I can turn as friends. They have regressed from the level of friend to the level of associate. And I think that it's a normal occurrence that takes place in all of our lives. It's just that we have to be willing to reassess that relationship and be able to determine whether this is a person who's actively my friend, or whether this person now is an associate, someone that I know of, someone that I knew, but someone who no longer holds the same position in my life that they once did. And then when we're looking at the level of association or the level of friendship that we might have with a person, did that friendship ever really exist? Were they really as close as we thought? Or was there something about you that made it a relationship of convenience? A relationship where they knew you would pick up the slack, you would come to the rescue, you would be there for them. But were they ever really there for you? It's very important as we are looking at where we want to go, what we want to do, how we are decluttering our lives, not only of things, but also of ideas that maybe no longer work for you. If you've been making excuses or overlooking the same behavior issues the entire relationship, then you really do have to stop and ask yourself, am I in a position that I can truly say this is my friend? Or is this just a person that maybe I knew when I was going to school? I thought possibly that we were one thing to each other, that we were closer. But I've learned over the years that either it no longer was beneficial, the relationship was no longer beneficial, or that maybe that relationship was never what I thought it was in the first place. And every time I call and they don't respond, or every time they promise to do something and they don't do it, maybe it's because the relationship that I thought that I had with this person never really existed at all. Sometimes we find people, they call them fair weather friends. These are people that are with you and they're rolling and riding along when everything is good, and then something changes, and it changes in your life, and you look around and they are no longer there. When we think about those type friends, when we think about those type acquaintances, we need to look around and see whether or not the majority of the people that we call friends are fair weather friends, or are they all weather friends? I want us, as we're understanding the relationship of the people that are around us, to realize that you don't owe your future to anybody. That if they determine they don't want to go, or they don't want to be a part of what you feel that you've been called to do, then it's probably time to let them go. There's nothing wrong with that. And if anyone that is around you requires you to give up your dream, then really understand that they are not your friend. You know, when we leave our school relationships, many times people get married, they have made a commitment to their spouse or significant other. And the relationships that brought them along the way do tend to lose the importance that they once had. That's understandable. That's not what I'm relating to. I'm talking about the people that have been with you for many, many years. And then you begin to understand, maybe through an occurrence, maybe you were in a position of vulnerability, and you actually found out in that position of vulnerability what they really thought, and possibly what they always thought about the significance of the relationship that you were in with them. So it's time to reevaluate as we are moving forward in life, as we're moving forward towards our goals, that it is necessary for us to look at those around us and to determine whether or not these are people that are going to continue on the road with us. Maybe these are the people who were there for a reason. Maybe that reason is over. Maybe they were there for a season. Maybe that season is over. And then there are those very few that are there for a lifetime. Evaluate your friends. If water seeks its own level, are they pulling you down or are you bringing them up? You don't owe your future to anyone. Hold on to your dreams. They're so very important. I wanted to, as we're closing out this episode, I wanted to remind you that I am on Wisdom. You're able to have and ask questions of me on Wisdom. I did a Wisdom talk over the weekend regarding some questions that I'd gotten about anger, about relationships, about communication, and things of that order. And I would very much love it if you would be able to go and maybe listen to the talk. It's about 40 minutes, a little bit over, but I think it would be something that would be beneficial for you. If you go on Wisdom and you go on my page, you'll see the topics, the questions that are asked. And then right next to that, you'll see a category that says talks. If you click on the talk, you'll be able to see that one that I just did yesterday, and also those that I have done in the past about anger and power and relationships and all of those type things. I think there'll be something that would interest you. And also join me on FanBase. FanBase is another place that you'd have the opportunity to hear some of the things that I do if you're not able to get on Wisdom. So those are two ways to reach me. Of course, you can always visit my website at www.DrAnitaMc.com. That's DrAnitaMc.com. You can join me there. I hope that you will continue to keep coming back. Please tell others about the podcast, about what we're doing. Again, I am not on hiatus, but I'm putting together a different concept for our YouTube channel, still named the same thing, A Diamond Moment with Dr. Anita. But we're going to be talking about some real life raw diamonds, the things that are taking place right now, that as we begin to evaluate who we are as people, we'll be able to view the outside world in a different way. We do have an obligation to the world that we live in if we want it to stay a world that we want to live in. So don't forget, you've got to invest in yourself.